So, let's look back at the 2020 draft. What is up, Finn fans? 3 years ago, I started this series on the channel. And around this time, I usually do it either the week of the draft or the week before the draft. And being that tomorrow will be an exact week until the draft, I look back every 3 years at our drafts and kind of see how we did. And why do I do every 3 years? Is because that's the normal amount of time you give a player to perform, to become something. Normally you give them 3 years, but for some players you give them half a season, then people come out and say they're garbage. We'll talk about that though. But I was torn between what video I wanted to do today, because obviously Jalen Hurts got a fat contract, and I want to talk about that and the ramifications of that. So that video is going to come out tomorrow. And today we're going to recap the 2020 NFL draft for the Miami Dolphins. But real quick, got to shout out a new member, and Michael Herthon. I'm horrible at names, if you can't tell, but I do greatly appreciate you becoming a member. If you'd like to become a member, it is the join button next to the subscribe button. You get a ton of perks. If you saw, he's got this nice little logo next to his beautiful face and his beautiful child behind him, I'm assuming. If you become a member during live streams, you get the logo. The longer you are a member, the logo changes and changes. If you want to become a mod, you can become a mod. If you're a member, just let me know and I'll tell you the rules. And please don't let the power go to your head, because then I'm gonna have to unmod you, and then it's gonna be a thing, and then you know what I'm saying. But yeah. So if you'd like to become, and you get special icons when I live stream and stuff. I put the first down marker down for first downs when we're watching the game and stuff. If you would like to join, hit the join button next to the subscribe button, and Patreon. You guys get special videos. There's different tiers. I'm going to do special things for the different tiers, especially my MVP tier. You guys are going to get something real special soon. And if you want to become a patron, that is linked in the description as well. But never, ever, 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 ever feel like you need to. Just being subscribed, watching, and most importantly, obviously give it a thumbs up, but comment. I love reading your guys' comments. It helps me change the channel to ways that you guys like it. It makes me a better content creator and coverer of the Miami Dolphins. I don't know. So without further ado, we are going to look at the 2020 NFL draft. And I gave each of these draft picks a grade. And I took a lot of notes. I don't want to ruin the grading, but I took a lot of notes. See, there's a lot of notes next to it. Like maybe if I do that, I don't think you'll see the grades. I took a lot of notes. So I know how, where, what they're doing, where they are now, how we got the pick, how this happened, and I'm going to grade them. It's been 3 years. I'm going to grade them. And obviously, let's just jump into it. I got to stop rambling. I ramble too much, and some of you guys hate it, and I do apologize. We went into the 2020 NFL draft with 15 picks. This was the start of the Laramie Tunsil, taken in, right? Because 2019 we traded Laramie Tunsil to the Houston Texans. This was the first year where we got to reap the rewards of just stealing from the Houston Texans, and also reap the rewards of trading Minkah Fitzpatrick. So we had 15 picks, but they turned into 11 because we did some wheeling and dealing, moving up, moving back, all that stuff. So we are going to start with a guy that has been polarizing, either positive or negative. And no matter what I say about this guy, I'm going to get either flack or not flack or more flack. And that's Tua Tagovailoa with the 5th overall pick. I'm going to talk about him for about a minute, and then I'm going to give you my grade, and then I'm moving on, and I'll tell you why I give him my grade, and then y'all can kick rocks if you get mad about it. So Tua, 5th overall pick, came in, had the hip injury, scared the crap out of me. You can go back and watch my video. I wasn't all gun-ho. I was happy we took him because I thought, and I still think he could be a very good quarterback, but I had other guys. Sewell, I had Tua, and then there was another guy. There's 3. I even think I was like, I'd be okay with Herbert. But I always give you guys, every time the draft comes, I give you 3 or 4 guys because I don't like to pinpoint to one guy because then you get disappointed. But I like Tua. I looked at his college film. I looked at, the way he played and stuff. I like Tua. I like the way he played. I liked how smart he was, all that stuff. Now, again, this 3 years later, looking at it, do I wish the Dolphins would have took Justin Herbert over Tua? A little bit, just because Tua is still dealing with that injury, right? He's still dealing with that injury bug, whereas Justin Herbert is powering through it and he's playing. He played with a broken rib. He played with torn ligament and muscles or whatever. He's been playing hurt, and he also has better physical features, right? When it comes to his arm strength, when it comes to his mobility, all that stuff, he is the better quarterback in that aspect. So if I could go back, would I have taken Herbert over Tua? Yeah. I think Herbert, when you look at the 3 quarterbacks now that were taken, 1, 5, and 6, Burrow is better. I think but Burrow still has his, I'll say this, right? For all 3 quarterbacks, they all have their downfalls. Burrow has his downfall. That's why he couldn't win the Super Bowl. And that's why during the playoff run, he wasn't as good. Justin Herbert has his downfalls. That's why, the Chargers are what they are and what happened in the playoff game. And even against the Patriots, he had horrible games. Like he still has his horrible games. And then Tua, he has his downfalls with his injury history and his inconsistencies. But as of right now, 3 years later, yes, I would take Justin Herbert over Tua. He has the better attributes. That being said, I'm not upset that we took Tua, and I still think Tua will be a very good quarterback. And that pick, I give a B+. And I can already feel some people going in the comments, B+. Oh, B+. I still think, especially this past year, and, unfortunately he couldn't stay healthy and he had a few bad games. Every quarterback has bad games. Can we be smart about this? He still, look at his stats. He still played really well. He just needs to stay healthy and he needs to continue to get better. So I think that pick was a B+. Then we go to pick 18, and that is the pick we got from the Pittsburgh Steelers for trading them Mika Fitzpatrick, and we took Austin Jackson. Now, when we took this pick, I was very apprehensive. And again, go back and watch the mock drafts from 2020. I kept telling you guys that if the Dolphins take a quarterback, say they take Tua or they took Justin Herbert, I kept telling you guys by the time we get to 18, none of these good tackles are going to be there, and we're going to have to reach for somebody. And that's what happened with Austin Jackson. Now, the Dolphins tried to jump up and I think hit Tristan Wirfs. I think that was the guy they wanted. They tried to get in front of Tampa. They tried to trade with, I think it was the Saints at the time. Nothing came of it. I think the Saints were asking for too much, yada, yada. So they stayed pat and they took Austin Jackson. Or maybe it's a different story. No, that's the right story. I'm getting my years mixed up. Austin Jackson coming in super raw, but he had the talent, he had the physical attributes, all that stuff, but he was still super, super raw. He missed some playing time giving his sister's bone marrow, all that stuff. I give this a C-. It hasn't panned out. He's still struggling. We still don't know what he is. It's 3 years later. And a lot of people say, Doug, why are you giving Tua, you're all in on Tua, which I'm not. I said we shouldn't pick up his 5th-year option. I still need to see him get healthy. A lot of stuff, people assume things instead of actually listening to what I have to say. But I have a different attitude of Tua versus Austin Jackson, and that's because Tua showed me things. He showed me how to change my oil. He showed me quantum physics. He showed me things, especially this year. Right? Last year we got sparks here and there. Okay. Against the Giants, against the Panthers last year. Not last year, 2021. I was like, okay, there it is. I'm seeing the passes. But it was inconsistent because then he would throw stupid. This year we had that run, 8 straight games. The team was winning with him. And, you had the 3 straight games of him just torching people. You had the Ravens game. You had the Buff. We had games where we're like, there it is. Showed me things. Austin Jackson never showed me anything, so that's why he gets a C-. Then we have Noah Igbunu with the 30th pick. Now, it was the 20-something pick, and we traded it with the Green Bay Packers so they could take Jordan Love. And that was a funny reaction because everyone thought that they were trading up with the Dolphins to take a wide receiver, and they took Jordan Love, and it was just a nightmare. But the Dolphins got the 30th pick, and then they also got the 4th pick. Got a 4th rounder, 136. And they took Noah Igbunu. And there was a lot of better people on the board at the time. There was some safeties. There's Jonathan Taylor. So many better players. And the Dolphins took Noah Igbunu. And I remember that night, I was so tired. And you know how the first round goes, and it goes, and it goes. And I was so tired, and I was like, oh my God, they traded back. Jeez, now I got to be here for, another hour, because it was only like 5 or 6 picks, but it was, and they, comes up, reads the card, Dolphins take Noah Igbunu. And I was like, who? Noah Wadabi? Who? And he hasn't panned out, just like Austin Jackson, but I think he's a little bit worse than Austin Jackson. He had the 1 interception game saver versus the Steelers. But other than that, it just hasn't panned out. I give that a pick a D. I give it a D. It hasn't panned out. And it was Austin, besides Tua, because Tua was in a reach at 5. Besides Tua, Austin Jackson and Noah Igbunu were reaches. You probably could have got Noah in the 3rd, and you probably could have got Austin Jackson with the 56th pick that we had in the 2nd. They were reaches. Reaches. Just horrible pick. We could have took wide receivers there that could have helped Tua out his rookie and sophomore year, but just bad. So C- and a D. I don't give them Fs because they have played and they kind of showed something, like a little bit of something. That's why they don't get an F, but it was bad. Then we go into round 2 with our pick, the 39th overall pick. We took Robert Hunt, guard, A. He has shown, he was a tackle. He played some right tackle for us. We kick him inside to guard. He's just very good. It's an A pick. There's not much to talk about it. I told you that since 1990, we've taken 17 offensive linemen from the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round, and only one of them have panned out, and that is Robert Hunt. The other 16 have been complete disasters. So that's an A for me. Then pick 56. At that point, we had Baltimore Ravens in front of the Dolphins at 55. We got this pick, just real quick, from the Saints. We traded back from the Saints in 2019, and what that was we were trying to get Josh Rosen, and the Cardinals kept saying, oh, we want a second. And the Dolphins were like, hold on a second. We traded back with the Saints. We got a second this year, and then we traded for Josh Rosen. So 56 pick, I forgot the running back. He went to the Ravens. You can comment below. It'll come to me. But that's who I wanted. And then, of course, the Ravens took the pick before. And then the Dolphins took Raekwon Davis, defensive tackle from Alabama. I give this a B-, borderline C+. No, I'm changing it. It's a C+. It's not even. I'm not even going to give it a B because he hasn't done anything. He hasn't flashed, right? I haven't seen much of that. I give it a C+. I'm changing my grade from B- to a C+. I'm giving it a C+. He's there, but it's like, that's what I think of it. And you remember how much Brian Flores loved this pick. He was giddy when the Dolphins took Raekwon Davis at the 56th pick. He was in love. Let's say B- C+, ish. And then we have the 3rd round where we have pick number 70, which was ours, Dolphins pick. We took Brandon Jones, safety out of Texas. He was banged up, so I don't know if he could have went sooner or we could have got him later. This draft, I noticed I feel like we reached on some players. I give it a B+ only because he's played a lot and he has shown that he is, he's a part of it. He's a good aspect of our defense that when he was gone last year, we noticed it. Very good in the box, very good tackler, very good blitzer, not very good in coverage. So he's that in the box safety. I give it a B+. B+. I think that's a good pick, especially for a 3rd rounder and how much he's played. So far we've gotten 1, 2, 3 starters. And normally when you look at drafts, You get 3 starters. You're pretty happy about that. But out of 11 picks, then we have round 4, and we have pick 111. And I think we traded back for this one, or we traded up for this one, because we had pick 136 in the 4th round that we got from Green Bay, and I think we traded up for this one. But we took Solomon Kinley, guard, big boy. He's not on the team anymore. I think he's with the Vikings. He's with another team right now. He didn't pan out. He came in to camp last year a little too heavy, couldn't really run the zone run scheme. He's more of a bull of a offensive lineman. I give it a C minus C. It's not a bad pick, but it just didn't pan out. He had some decent games, but he's not mobile. So he was very good at run blocking, but he's very bad at pass blocking, and we saw it. So I give that one a C minus, C minus. How many times I'm going to see C? And then with pick 153, because we had three 5th round picks. With pick 153, we traded that. So essentially we got pick 153 from the Cardinals for Kenyon Drake. So, but that was our pick. We traded that pick. So we traded a 2nd and a 5th to a 2nd in 2019 and a 5th from 2020 to the Cardinals for Josh Rosen. That 5th that we traded, this is going to be very confusing, was 153. So when we traded Kenyon Drake to the Cardinals, we got our 153, the 5th, round 5 pick back. We ended up taking that pick and trading it to the 49ers for Matt Breida. So that's what happened there in round 5. We got Matt Breida. Then in round 5, pick 154, we took Jason Strawbridge, defensive end. That was for the Minka trade. So we got, I think we traded a 4th. I think we gave him a 4th, and we got a 1st and a 5th. It was a lot of moving. Again, Chris Greer likes to wheel and deal. But we took Jason Strawbridge, and he was with the team for about a year. And they released him in September 6th of 2021. He's currently not with the team. I don't know if he's retired, but he hasn't played in a couple of years. This is a big fat F. The Jason Strawbridge pick is just a bad pick. It's an F. And then in 164, we took Curtis Weaver. We traded up from 173 to 164 to take Curtis Weaver. He was waived that August. He was on the team for, 3 months? No, my math is wrong. 5 months. And we waived him because of an injury. Then the Browns picked him up. Then the Browns waived him, and they kept on and off, on and off. Right now, I think he's on the Vikings right now. Surprise, surprise. But that's also an F. Those 2 5th-round picks, complete and utter Fs. Failures of picks. Neither one of them panned out. It was just hot garbage. Then round 6, pick 185. The Dolphins took a long snapper. And again, talk about reaching. Austin Jackson, reach. Noah Igbunu, reach. Brandon Jones might have been a reach, but it panned out. Blake Ferguson. We took a long snapper in the 6th round. But it panned out to be really good because he's still with the team and he's a good long snapper. I give that a B for a pick. It was a reach in my opinion, but it panned out. He's good. So, good. Okay. And then with the last pick, round 7, we had 3 7th-round picks. We traded 2 of them away because we were like, we're done. We already took so many players. We're done. With pick 246, we took Malcolm Perry. He was listed as a running back, but he was kind of that running back wide receiver combo for us. We got that pick from the Kansas City Chiefs when we traded him Jordan Lucas, the safety. It's a C minus. He never really did anything. He never really panned out. And he's not in the NFL right now. He actually retired to go back to serve in the Navy because he was in the Naval Academy. That's where we drafted him out of, and he retired to go back to serve in the Navy. So that's a C minus. So overall, the 2020 draft, you got Tua, Robert Hunt, Raekwon Davis, Brandon Jones, and Blake Ferguson. Those are your starters that you got out of that draft. Tua, Robert Hunt, Raekwon Davis, Brandon Jones, and Blake Ferguson. You got 5 starters out of that draft out of 11 picks. Less than 50%. But I'm trying to think how would I consider this draft a success, because Tua, if he continues to get injured, that's a problem. And you can't have a sustainable career if you continue to get injured. Raekwon Davis needs to show up. Brandon Jones needs to stay healthy. He might get pushed out because he might not fit the Vic Fangio scheme, and we might add a different safety. And Blake Ferguson's a long snapper, so he'll probably be there. I give this draft, because I gave it a B, a C minus, a D, an A, a B minus, a B, a C minus, FFB. I'm trying to give you guys, I give it a B minus. I give this draft. You got 5 starters out of it, and you're going to get starters when you have that many picks, but they missed a lot. The Austin Jackson pick, Noah Igbunu, Solomon Kinley, Jason Strawbridge, Curtis Weaver, misses, huge misses. So you missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 misses. Malcolm Perry, I'm all right with it. He retired. It was a 7th round pick. So you went 50-50 on this draft. That's why I'm kind of like, I give it a B. B minus. What's your thoughts? I know people who don't like Tua are going to be like, you gave Tua a B plus, yada, yada, Tua sucks, yada, yada. Be objective. Take your I hate Tua hat off. Take your I want Tua gone hat off. Take it and just be objective. Look at how Tua has progressed. I've even talked about the things that worry me. I talked about the bad. Be objective. Comment below. What do you think? What's your grade for the 2020 draft? And then next year we're doing 2021 draft. And that one's interesting. That one actually panned out to be pretty good. But comment below. Let me know what you guys think. And I will see you tomorrow talking about Jalen Hurts' contract and how that affects the Miami Dolphins. But like usual, stay classy. Offense up.